This is RHM for RHM Movie Reviews. Today is for this episode. It's going to be the rest of my DC comic movies. First one up is Suicide Squad. Now this introduces a new Joker, but this Joker only lasts actually for this movie, because as everybody knows, with that new movie that came out this past year, or actually last year, the Joker that started Walking Phoenix, he may be the actual new Joker, but who knows? And I know Ben Affleck as Batman does do a cameo. The rest of the cast is great. I mean, Will Smith is great as Deadshot. It'll be nice when he does eventually come back to play Deadshot, because he did that character so well. And of course, Margot Robbie has done an excellent job at playing Harley Quinn. I can't wait for her next Harley Quinn movie. I think the next one is The Suicide Squad, which comes out, I think, either next year or in 2022. I'm not sure. But it was amazing to see her play this character. I was interested in the fact that famous Illinoisan guy from Chicago, Illinois, really, Common, actually plays a character who sorry, spoiler alert, ends up getting killed in the movie. I thought for sure he was going to be the one who was playing Killer Croc, but he's not. And of course, Jay Courtney, who's in this, I know he played a villain in the Divergent series, and he did an excellent job playing a villain in that movie. He does a better job at playing a character where he actually gets to use his own accent, which I find is very interesting. Just so you know, I think Jay Courtney is from Australia. I would double check on that. Alright, next one is Wonder Woman. Amazing cast. It does take place during World War One, more towards the end, I think. And just so you know, the actor you think is Ares, the character you think is Ares, because we're like, Wonder Woman is Diana Prince. Who we think is Ares, God of War in disguise, is not who we actually think it is. And I thought that was so interesting. I thought it was great for the writers to do that. I don't know if that's what happens in the comic books. And I assume Ares is a main villain for Wonder Woman in the comic books. I don't know. Because I'm sorry, but I don't read comic books. I read actual books. I'm sorry, but it's true. And Chris Pine as this character who, spoiler alert, ends up dying, is good. Just like Jay Hernandez for his character Diablo in Suicide Squad. These casting directors, if you're watching this, great job at casting the movies I own, because I think you've done an excellent job. Alright, next one. The culmination and the intermission, I think, between the three superheroes you've introduced. DC Comics introduced into their own movies, their solo movies, like, Superman, Batman and Superman sort of shared a movie. And then Wonder Woman having her own movie. Justice League. It was a great cast. It did introduce 3 more DC comic superheroes. I don't know if Cyborg's going to get his own movie, but I know The Flash is going to have his own movie. And around the time, no, actually, no, just this past year, there was a crossover between the DC Extended Universe and the DC Arrowverse. Um, when you saw Ezra Miller, who plays the Flash on the big screen, share some screen time with the TV Flash. I was like, whoa, double take. I thought it was so cool. And the name, it was, as I said, it was this past year's crossover event for the Arrowverse called Crisis of Infinite Earths. I do suggest you watch I think it's 5 episodes, that last 5 episodes. Yeah, it does last 5 episodes. Who am I kidding? 5 episodes. I do suggest you watch all 5 to actually see that scene where you see Ezra Miller and the guy who, I keep on forgetting the actor who plays Barry Allen, the Flash, on TV. But the scene where the two of them in the same scene, it was like amazing. It was so cool. As I said, this does introduce Aquaman and Cyborg. As I said, I don't know if Cyborg's going to get his own movie. I know the Flash is. I know Aquaman has. Now this has J.K. Simmons, who was in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man movies as J. Jonah Jameson. I'm sorry if I didn't say that correctly. If that didn't sound correctly. Spider-Man's boss at the Daily Bugle. I thought it was interesting. He actually took on a DC character as he's someone who got to play Commissioner Gordon in Justice League. And I thought that was amazing. Alright, next one, as I said, Aquaman actually got his own movie. Great cast. Introduction of a big Aquaman villain called Black Manta. And believe me, I checked I have a DC encyclopedia. I did check. He is a main Aquaman villain. And there are 2 villains in the movie. I mean, besides Black Manta, you also have Aquaman's half-brother. Which I think was amazingly played by Patrick Wilson. I don't know if he's played villains before. I'm pretty sure he hasn't, but if he hasn't, he did a good job first time out. And just so you know, the actress who plays the mom, Aquaman's mom, or Arthur Curry, Aquaman's mom, Nicole Kidman, this was her second DC movie. Her first one was Batman Forever, which did okay at the box office. For that, I do blame the director, Joel Schumacher. I'm sorry, may he rest in peace, because I know he passed away. Now the next one, it's not a part of he's not part of the Justice League yet, but hopefully someday he will be, and that is Shazam. Now, if you're noticing that, if you're seeing me move it and you're seeing 2 different actors, that's because that's the way this cover is. If you take this off, it's just Zachary Levi as Shazam. Now, if I can get it back in the sleeve. Great cast. And of course, Mark Strong he was in Green Lantern, so that makes Shazam his second DC movie. And as the villain in this movie, the eye, all the characters that are in the glowing eye that he has are supposed to be the seven deadly sins. Now, I'm not sure of what those. I know for sure three of those sins are lust, greed, and envy. And if you are religious, if you're part of the um one of the big religions, those are the three main sins. Sorry, I'm checking the trivia on this. Yeah, I know it's somewhere in here in the. It actually says, because I forgot what the other sins are. Yeah, here it is. I'm sorry. Wrath, pride, greed, gluttony, sloth, lust, and envy. Those are the seven deadly sins. And if you scroll, well, if you're on the computer, you scroll down. On the app, you scroll up. And it actually does say that, yeah, there's the spoilers, and it says the seven heavenly virtues, which Billy has. That's why he becomes the warrior, becomes Shazam. Oh yeah, sorry. Displays the seven heavenly virtues, which is diligence, kindness, humanity, temperance, patience, charity, and chastity. Which the last one sounds interesting because, well, Billy Batson is really an early teen. I don't know if that really counts because he's in high school. Um, it is an interesting movie, and just so you know, yeah, it's Asher Angel who's playing Billy Batson, and Zachary Levi as Shazam, which I found it was interesting for that arc. Now, there are other movies based on comic books. This is going to be before I get to my last one. Um, there is Bloodshot, which recently came out, which is a good movie. There's also Alita, which is believe it or not, James Cameron and Robert Rodriguez working together, which is also good. Both have great casts. And once again, Bloodshot Guy Pearce plays the villain, just like he did in Iron Man 3. And with Leah, I'm not really sure on who plays the villain in that movie, because it's a little unclear. But otherwise, that is a good movie. Those are non Marvel, non DC comic book movies. And those are, as I said, those are great movies. I do suggest you watch them. Well, and there's a comic strip movie that I really a movie that's based on a comic strip that I really like, and that's Garfield. And that has Bill Murray as the voice of Garfield, and I thought, and you get other voices in both that and the sequel. But yeah, amazing voices and great villains. So, alright, the last DC comic movie I own, because there is going to be one movie that's supposed to be coming out this fall, Wonder Woman 1984. It is a sequel to the original Wonder Woman. In this one, you actually get to meet an original Wonder Woman villain, or at least I think at least two Wonder Woman villains. But I know they're DC comic villains, for sure. Birds of Prey and the Emancipation of the Fabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. I just call it Birds of Prey. Now, I know there was a series that was supposed to be based on the comics where you had, and there was a TV series where, well, yeah, if Batman and Catwoman had a daughter, she would be Huntress and not this other character, and she would be the leader of the Birds of Prey. And his amazing cast for the movie, and yeah, it's like his Star Wars Episode 1 co-star before him, Ewan McGregor, does play a villain in this movie, and he does an excellent job, and it's like, never thought he could play a villain, but he does so good at it. And as I said, amazing cast. Margot Robbie still does an excellent job at playing Harley Quinn. I know, I can't wait for the next Harley Quinn movie that she does. Because who knows? This is RHM for RHM Movie Reviews signing off. And next couple episode will be about spy movies.